Hey y'all, welcome back to Nichful Thinking. My name is Nichelle O'Shells on all social media, and this is a podcast all about what I be thinking. So yeah, how we doing? Is this the last Monday in January? I don't even know. Let me see. January been about 45 years long and I'm over it. Yeah, this is the last Monday in January. I started this podcast on 11/11, and it's just really cool for me to be consistent and really just like put the episodes out there. I promise you, I will be uploading every single episode that I've recorded a video for on YouTube. I promise. Let me just tell you what's been going on. So let's do a quick little check in. So I officially moved. Yay! Put a little sound on there. I officially moved and I am in my new space. I hope there's no echo. I have this mic for a reason and hopefully she's not doing me wrong, but I am in a different apartment. I'm in a different like building. It's very, very new. She's very, very cute. Like I went to the gym for the first time this morning because we can't skip Mondays. We cannot skip Mondays. Like that's OD. So yeah, I did like a little bit of cardio, but I felt really proud of myself, and it kind of jogged my memory of when I was like on it. Like I want to say it was like maybe September, October, November. Like I was on it. Definitely have a bit more balance now, but I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I stretch. I got my yoga mat laid out. I'm like, yes. One thing about it, two things for sure. This winter, I had plans of being like superhuman, and that wasn't the case. I had so much going on, child. This move, I had to hire movers. I had to get everything packed. I didn't realize how much, you don't realize how much stuff you have until it's time for you to move. And that's a word. Okay? Follow me, camera. I Once I started packing up all the things that I have and started like preparing, calling the internet company, calling the energy company, transferring this new address. I still got to go to the UPS store and be like, excuse me, da da da, like this is my new address, da da da. I was like, oh my gosh. And funny enough, I ended up giving away my couch and the vanity that I had. And I thought it was so funny because it was like the couch itself, I had reasons for wanting to just get rid of it. I had that couch since I got to Texas like 3 years. It's been 3 years. It's sneaky been 3 years. Yeah. I've been in Texas for that long. So I was like, you know what? I need to get rid of this couch. And the vanity, I was like, I just want a new one. So of course I was on TikTok shop and I was like, this is kind of cute. I was comparing prices, da da da. I said, yeah, it's time for a new vanity. I need to do my get ready with me's. I need to get back to it. But I will say December and January, I feel like it was necessary for me to take just have an audit of all the things that I have, all the things that I wanted to bring into my new space, and all the things that I did not want to bring into my new space. And it's a little bit about, it's kind of like a reflection, I will say, of like how I treated Q4 of last year in general, where I was like super on it, on my even Q3, where I was like really on it. I was doing away with things that didn't serve me, bringing in new, fresh energy that does serve me, and finally transitioning into this new environment. I already feel like I'm ready to pick it back up. I already feel like, oh, okay, like I gave myself that time to have a really true rest period. One thing I always say in every episode, I'm like, I'm not gonna miss a Monday. Like this is really, really important to me. So yeah, I was able to maintain the podcast from November, but just in general, like I wasn't doing too much. My body was exhausted. I went through so much last year, and coming into this new environment at the end of January, starting to feel my energy pick back up. Like it just feels very aligned. So yeah, I got rid of those two things. I got rid of things mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like I just really had a really good cleanse and clean out. So I'm in the process of setting everything up. My kitchen's already good to go. My TV is up. My bed is made. My closet is getting it together. Has been very, very interesting and fun. I still got some clothes I gotta give away, but nonetheless, I say all that to say, hi. I feel refreshed. I feel renewed. I feel good. Today was the first day in a lot of days where I was like, okay, I feel like me. I feel like Shelly girl again. Like I feel like I'm able to maintain this energy. Speaking of maintaining this energy, let's talk about routine. So I told my friend this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back to waking up early, going to sleep early, and making sure that I start the day with working out. When I tell you, even getting a little bit of cardio in that I did, I felt like, ooh, like, yes, this is why you work out. Okay, that makes sense. This is why. It's not really even all about like, I want to be snatched. It's like, I want to feel good. Okay. So there's multiple ways to rest. And I will say, like me, I love sleep. I love a nap, child. If you know me, you know I love to just close my eyes and get horizontal. But going to the gym, journaling again, picking that back up, just like revitalizing the things that help me maintain and gain energy, it felt really good. So just wanted to start off with that little tidbit. She's in a new space. She's trying different things. I have a lot on the calendar for this year, and I'll share as those things come about. But for right now, that's what's going on. I'm also going to be around family at the end of this month, and I feel like that's going to be like the little icing on the cake, just to be around my people and like celebrate and just have a good time. So when I come into February, we locked and loaded, we energized, and we rebooted. Okay. Okay. First topic. So I was going through my notes, right? And I was like, what do I want to talk about? Like, I've been thinking about a lot. I've been doing a lot. I've been scrolling less. So praise the Lord for that. But yeah, I was looking at my notes, and one thing that jumped out to me was doing the work. I made this little, I scribbled this down. So it says, we fight habits, I like to call them addictions, throughout life. It takes work to get out of your own way. And when you have genuine humility and genuine desire for internal love and joy, that takes work. It takes work to go the long way around. I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast or TikTok or whatever, what have you, but doing the work. I remember thinking to myself, like, what does that even mean? Like doing the work, what does that mean? People, you gotta do the work, you gotta do the work. I'm thinking more tangible. I'm someone that is way more internal. So I'm like, I don't wanna do nothing I don't wanna do. Like, you know what I mean? So when I reflect back on this past year, I realized like I've made a full 180 and I've developed a lot. And it was because I was able to like face things that I normally would want to just like excuse away or just leave by the wayside to be like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. It'll blow over. No, like doing the work is literally facing the habits slash addictions that you have, like that has you by the throat, and being able to hold yourself accountable and also change. Building new habits and changing yourself is so intense. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that's like, what are you talking about? Like, if I want to do something, I just do it. Like, cold turkey. Like, I thought, great for you. For me, when I think about doing the work, when I think about the Nichelle that I was when I first got to Texas and the Nichelle now, my energy is different. The way I speak is different. The way I think about things is different. The way that I move through life is different. The way that I hold myself accountable is different. Like, I'm going through old journal entries like, Mama, you felt that way? Oh my God. You let that slide? Oh my God. You didn't have the vision or the wisdom to see X, Y. Oh my gosh. Like, just feeling yourself develop and then maintaining that is doing the work. I made a post about expanding into the next version of yourself. Like, when it comes to wanting to be your higher self, wanting to be a better version of yourself. If you're watching this on YouTube, you saw me just turn. I'm making rice and beans on the stove. So I just wanted to look over, make sure nothing was spilling over. But when it comes to those things, like if you're going to expand into the next layer of who it is that you're supposed to be in this world, it takes work to maintain it, and it takes work to relearn kind of what makes you you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've given myself time and space to rest and reboot, but it also requires me to say, okay, well, how do I continue to maintain and to scale myself? Like, let's do the work, right? And for me, like I always say, it's very internal. So reminder again, I'm literally going to say this every episode: journal, read, call on people that call on you, love on folk, and don't allow God to handle the big stuff. Okay. I did another episode where I talked about letting God handle like the high voltage things, the things that you probably don't need to be touching, some of the stuff that you try to make solutions for. Okay. God will come in and say, listen, don't try to be me. Okay. I'll handle that. I'll make sure that that's blocked. I thank God for the things that didn't work out. I want to thank God for the things that did not pan out the way that I wanted them to. Thank you, Lord. Okay. I want to thank God for giving me just a little ounce of knowledge to know to leave some stuff alone. Okay, speak up when you need to speak up, but you need to be focused in on what is going to propel you forward and loving on the people around you. Okay, but yeah, doing the work, it's like I really want people listening to this episode to think to themselves, what does that mean for me? What does it mean for me to do the work? Not just tangible, but internal. What are the things that you're not facing that requires you, that brings you that anxiety? You're like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to talk about that. Like, what tools do you need? The therapy, journal it down, talk to somebody, do something. Like, you have to make a conscious decision to say, okay, let me face this thing. Okay, I know this is a problem of mine. Let me practice reframing the way that I say certain things. Let me practice my communication, right? When you're in the situation, so first, okay, let's go back. So the first things first is acknowledging that you need to do something. Something need to change, right? I'm gonna use working out as an example. Like, you feel sluggish, you feel terrible, you always beating yourself up, you always like, well, Monday I'll do it, well, Monday I'll do it, Monday. All right, we got to the point where now we're like, you know what? I'm tired of it. Da, 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 da. I'm not gonna disappoint myself anymore. Cool. That next day, you need to go to the gym. That next day, you need to get on the floor and start stretching. And do it annoyed, do it upset, do it over it, do it, but just do it. That's doing the work. When you hold yourself accountable to doing things that are going to propel you forward and make you better, even if you don't want to do it, that is a part of doing the work. When you know that you got a mouthpiece on you and you be talking crazy to people and that you looking around like, well, I am who I am and I don't care. And then over time you start caring, and over time you like, wow, I don't got nobody around me. Wow, that person really meant me well. Wow. And this is, I'm talking about people who are reflected back and understand that you might need to change something, reiterating that. Doing the work looks like the next time you come into contact with anybody, you put out love, you put out good energy, you looking up different ways to say certain stuff. I saw somebody on TikTok, and you know how there be them like etiquette people or them people that's like, oh, like make sure you talk like this, talk like that. Be wise, be discerning. But there's people who are really genuinely like, well, if you say something like this might be a nicer way to put it, or this might be a kinder way to put it, or this is how you should talk to yourself so that when you speak to others, it already automatically kind of starts clicking, right? Same thing when people say affirmations in the mirror. At first, it feels weird, and then it starts feeling empowering, and then you're like, wait, like I really am this way, or I really feel this way about myself. Yeah, you have to practice literally speaking to people better. You have to practice literally holding yourself accountable. You do it uncomfy, do it very uncomfy. Okay. In order for you to expand into the next version of yourself, you have to meet God halfway. So I wanted to start this off with just that message of like what doing the work looks like, and also plant the seed in your mind to start thinking about, okay, what does it look like for me to actually do the work? Because that is that was such a buzz term. Like, you gotta do the work, you gotta do the work. Yeah, you have to literally put your fingers to the keyboard and prop the camera up and move your stuff over here and clean out what don't serve you no more. Like, you have to physically do these things, but there's also internal work that needs to be done. And I'm such a proponent, like I'm such an advocate for journaling because it literally helps you see yourself from a different angle. Especially when you look back like months or years back of the type of ways that you were even writing or even thinking, like those are things that will have you realize like, oh snap, I've come such a long way. Like, even with this podcast, of course I want to be consistent. Of course I have goals in mind for where I want this podcast to go, but I'm also really excited to go back and listen to episode 1. You know, I mentioned in one of the episodes, like after I edit these videos, these episodes, I'm not watching it back. Like I don't know, it's like awkward for me a little bit, but I know there's gonna come a day where I'm like, let me just see what episode 1 sounded like, you know, and we'll kind of look at how things have changed and how my mindset has changed. But that's really what it's about. When you're doing the work, it's not just physical, it's also you practicing the internal things that you know that you need and or want to change. Okay. Yeah. The second thing that I want to put out there for this episode is allow yourself to be yourself. Environment and the company you keep are meant to match your vibration, propel you forward, and help you evolve. It kind of goes hand in hand. Like, after you figure out, okay, these are the things that I want to flip. These are the things that I want to change about myself. These are the things that no longer serve me. Okay, you identify these things and you've been practicing being better in yourself and in your own way. Now you need to have the guts, the chutzpah, the energy, the know-how to be like, not even the know-how, but just the take an audit, right? You audit your environment, audit the company you keep, audit the job that you have, audit those things. A part of doing the work is also saying, okay, this no longer serves me. I need to move. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody. I need to get up out of this environment. I need to get up out of this relationship. I need to get up out of this job, like whatever it is. Like, oh, I thought I wanted to do CrossFit, but actually I want to try tennis now. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Like I grew up, I grew up the type of kid where it was like if I was enrolled in something, my parents were like, "You're gonna see this through." And I think that is such a beautiful lesson to learn, especially growing into your adulthood. But then you also have to look at the flip side of it. Like you need to know when something don't work for you no more and just be out. Just be out. I love doing that. I love just being out gracefully. Like I don't need to do too much or I say this a lot too, where it's like you don't need to exhaust all that it has to offer to then be in this dark hole and now you're like, how do I get out of this? No, 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 no. I filmed a podcast episode with one of my homegirls and it was me just expressing like what it was like. Hold on, y'all. I think I see something in the corner. Give me a second. Oh no. These floors are so shellac that the reflection had me like, wait, all right. Anyway, so yeah, like even me moving to Texas, like I didn't have a job out here. I didn't have like someone that I needed to be around or take care of or like I had a dollar and a dream. Like I had a partner at the time that was like down to move too. And I was like, all right, like I don't need no big grand reason. Like when you know an environment is no longer where you want to be and you dip and you're like, I want to just see more. I want to just experience more. Prepare, do the work, energetically align to what that looks like and be okay with not knowing how everything is going to pan out. Like I really commend people who, especially folks like straight out of high school or something who went to college like in another country or you went across state lines or you did like just rearranging stuff. Listen to that episode. I'm going to put the episode in the description box below. Shout out to my girl Marissa. It's the Let's Just Be Real pod. Yeah, I'm gonna put that episode in the description box so y'all can listen back to it. And I talk all about the move, and she asked me really, really insightful questions about kind of where my headspace was and my why and things of that nature. But if you know if you need to switch it up. I remember I was dating somebody, right? Okay, story time. I was dating somebody and I knew I didn't want to be with them no more. And I was like, well, let's just see because it's not like they cheated. It's not like they hit me. It's not like it was almost like in my brain, and this was me younger. It's like almost in my brain, like it had to be egregious. Like the reason had to be like so understandable to most people. Like that is such an interesting mindset to keep. Like it don't gotta be egregious. Okay. Take an audit, write it down, marinate on it, give yourself time to really feel comfortable and confident. But at the same, but you know, you know. It wasn't a relationship where it was like, oh, this is challenging and I just want something easy. No, this was a relationship where I was like, I don't need to be here. I don't even like you like that no more. You actually have this, and this about you, and I'm not even trying to coexist with this energy. I can't even like fake like I want to be around you no more. Like it was actually insane. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna just gonna be here. Plot twist. I remember he had did something and a shorty reached out to me. I was like, oh my God, like this is so crazy. Like, what is this? Like, oh my God, like, is he talking to her? Like, I don't know what's going on. And I remember he hit me up. I was like in an activity or some shit at the time or whatever. And he hit me up like, I don't want to do this to you no more. Like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like we need to take a break. Like, honestly, like you don't deserve this. Da da da. I said, okay, I'm out. I saw that. I saw that little crack in the door. I said, all right, thank you. I don't want to do this no more. It's all right. Oh my God, I'm so hurt. Okay, bye. Like I needed him to open up the conversation in order for me to feel comfortable being like, all right, I'm out. That's crazy. Like I'm definitely someone who, especially with relationships, it's like I want to be able to see things through and really give people chance and time because I am not perfect at all. Like I don't know if I'm being triggered in that moment. I don't know if there's something that I need to work on or communicate better or maybe like there's a personality style that I just need to get a little bit more accustomed to. Like I love being someone that is able to adapt and be able to meet people where they're at. But when it comes to somebody that you have close to you and that you're supposed to be wanting to share all this energy with, okay? Environments, people, places, things. Speaking of things, like I said at the top of this episode, I had to get rid of that couch. That couch, I would look at that gray couch and be like, this A don't got no personality on it. B, X, Y, and Z. C, it just the energy. It just wasn't it. And I looked at my account, I said I could get a new couch. I could get a new couch. So why am I'm moving to this next space. I got two grown men moving all my stuff over here. I said, yo, can y'all just leave that in the dumpster? They looked at me, I looked at them, they looked at me, they was like, yeah. I was like, bet. Get rid of that damn couch. Okay? So yeah, I'm sitting on sitting on my bar stool right now, but I'm happy that I don't got that couch no more. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to hang on to this thing until I get the new thing. Same thing in relationships. I see a lot of people be like, oh, but like I like to have another like another ting on the side marinating. No, I don't like that. I want leave. I don't need nothing lined up. I don't need to know. Like you have to have that type of faith where you're like, I don't even need to know what's gonna come next. I just know I don't want this. And that's enough for me to propel and move on. I need to expand. I need to breathe. Like I got things that I've never even opened up, touched, and something in me low key feels like this was the apartment for me to like open up that furniture. It's crazy. Like I've had this stuff stored away for like 2 years, 3 years. And I never opened it, never assembled it, it never fit in the places that I was in. And now I have vision on like how that's gonna go and like how I want to just redecorate and just make things even more just flashier and more inspirational for myself. And like now those pieces make sense. So not only do you need to learn that like when it's time for you to clear some stuff out, but it's also possible for you to reconnect with something that you didn't utilize in the past yet, right? It's like we have things in our back pocket, whether it be literal things like the furniture pieces that I'm thinking about right now, but also like I've reconnected with friends that I've had like single digit age and like we are close now and we have like a whole routine and schedule of connection now and like we've all grown so much and grown through so much and like now we're even better for each other as a support group and like it's just when things flow when you allow things to flow I should say that's when your sauce come back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling very saucy. I'm feeling very good, very nice. So yeah, those are the things that I've been thinking about. I think it's super important for you to audit yourself. It's important for you to give yourself permission to do away with things. It's important for you to recognize when you need to practice being better for yourself and for others. But yeah, that's what I got for y'all this week. If you enjoyed this, please rate, comment, all the things, share with a friend, be like, maybe you need to hear this because at the end of the day, like, you gotta hear this, right? Like, definitely help me boost this up. Thank you to everyone who's been sliding the DMs, but make it public. Like, love on people publicly. Oh my God, that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about too. Maybe I'll talk about it in another episode. Yeah, I'll talk about it in another episode. But yeah, follow us. All the socials will be in the description box. O'Shells on all social media. You can follow us at Nichful Thinking _ on Instagram. And you can slide in my email if you want to tell your own story, talk about what you've been thinking at nichfulthinking@gmail.com. 2025, man. She's been crazy. She's been rough. January has been 45 moons long. But protect your peace, do the best you can. That's all we can do, really. Trust the process, as they say, and do the work. Okay. Bye. Love you. Mean it.